Welcome to Crypto.XL, your go-to spot for all things crypto. Here we dive into market trends, altcoin gems, and blockchain innovations, helping you stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of crypto. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here is financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. Want exclusive insights? Join the Patreon where I share buy and sell picks, market updates, and behind-the-scenes content. Hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's ride the crypto wave together.
Crypto.XL. Yeah, computer's trying to freeze. They're trying to freeze us out again, but they won't freeze us out. I'll get the information out anyway. You watch it for information, not for the video, not for my handsome face. That's not why you watch a channel. All right, so the market is rebounding. All right, the M2 money supply is increasing, and there's about a 10-week lag to this increase. So I'm pretty bullish from this point on. I believe that there will be pullbacks, but overall the trend is up. I'm just watching the screen freeze and then I start to animate again. I think it's funny. With all this technology that we still have to go through issues like this, it's hilarious. All right, let me move on and continue. Patreon gems, they're starting to move. We've been getting in at the lows. We've been DCAing despite the fear, despite the bad sentiment in the market, and despite the uncertainty. Heroes of Mavia, we've seen this thing do an 8x in a very short period of time. Congratulations to anyone who's been DCAing with me at these low points. Mavia has also done a pullback recently. It went down to like 0.2 something and then it doubled again. Right? I don't know what the deal exactly is with how the price chart of this is moving, but I will take profit every time it pumps like this, and I will buy back at the lows because that's what we do here. If you look at other Patreon gems, a lot of them are up today. I believe that this is just the start, right? I don't think that that this is just like by chance or something. That this is happening because the global M2 money supply has increased, and it's going to keep on increasing. The projection is heading into May. So we've been picking up Fartcoin at the bottom. And if you look at this is actually a rounded bottom. And also look at the RSI. This is a rounded bottom too. So if you're looking for something that is probably going to pump, like even right now, it's pulling back to the EMAs, and it's currently 0.55. For me, this is a good time to DCA into Fartcoin because I do believe that we're looking at a parabola. And according to the M2 money supply for the next couple months, we should have smooth sailing to the upside. So basically, this is kind of like what I'm saying, guys. Like it's a letter U. That's what I think is about to happen. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Crypto is risky. You can lose all your money. So make sure you take responsibility for your decisions. I am not guaranteeing anything. I'm simply a crypto enthusiast just like you are. So, but for me though, I have been DCing in. And there's another thing, another strategy that I have is low leverage longs at this point in the market. Because if you look at a coin like Farcoin, and there are other coins too, there's Giga Chad, that's another one, and there's also Goldsius Maximus. These things are like 10x from where they were just a few months ago. So this was January 2025. Literally 2 months ago, this thing was $2.70, right? So you imagine you get in down here. That's a 10x from the bottom, and a low leverage long on this. That's incredible gains, guys. And you can use the capital up here to take out your initial investments that you put in, bank some profit, and then get some small caps. That would be a really, really good strategy. Not financial advice, just my opinion on the market, of course. Just talking between friends. So I think that we're about to see explosions. Now I know that there's uncertainty, right? But what about the tariffs? What about China and Russia and a bunch of other things we can't control and this and that? Well, what I'm going to say about that is if there wasn't risk, there would be no fear. And if there was no fear, there would be no 90% decline. There would be no opportunity. This down here is an opportunity, right? I did mention that there was a chance that we could have come back and test the previous support on Bitcoin at 75K and the EMAs, a 50-week EMA at 75K. But that did not happen, right? And we see that we are now at the ascending part of the M2 money supply. So me being out of the market at this point would not make any sense. I would take the risk that we decline more, but I believe the upside outweighs the downside. I think at a minimum we end up going back to all-time highs at a 109K, and most likely we end up breaking it at some point and hitting. It's possible that we hit 120K, which was a Fibonacci retracement that on one of my previous videos that I showed you. Now, if you look at the projection, remember we're 10 weeks back. The yellow line is the M2 money supply. The followed by Bitcoin. It's overlaid by Bitcoin, right? So this is a Bitcoin price chart with the M2 money supply. And you can see that Bitcoin traces and follows the M2 money supply. So the M2 money supply is in the future, and Bitcoin ends up following the yellow line in the future. And if you see where the M2 money supply is now, this is in May of 2025. So in May of 2025, we hit a pivot point here, or a peak, and the M2 money supply pulls back. So what does that tell me? That tells me that in late May, there's a very, very good chance that we have a pullback in the market. So if I'm correct, and we end up going up in not a straight line, I like saying straight line, straight diagonal line, if it was only that easy. Well, we end up going up until May of 2025, according to the M2 money supply line. And if that happens, you looked at where it peaked out last time, and you'll see that it peaked just above where we were last time. This means that it's possible for Bitcoin to hit a new all-time high right around May of 2025. It's possible. But I do expect a reaction, and that reaction should be a pullback at that point. So at the very least, if I do low leverage longs on solid projects that have performed in the past, it's a good chance, if I manage my risk, that I can make multiple X's on this next trend wave going up. And if I'm smart, I will take profit as we head closer and closer into May of 2025. I think I said March a few times. I meant May. So as we head into May of 2025, if I'm smart, I will take profits on the way up, especially as we start ascending to higher levels. I'll start taking profit. And I'll just bank it and I'll chill and I'll wait for the crash. And we have to wait and see, like, as this continues to print, where is this M2 money supply going? Now, another thing we have to talk about is the uncertainty in the market. with the tariffs that Trump is supposed to enforce on April 2nd. Well, there's something that I saw that was interesting on the charts. If you look at the others chart, so this is others excluding top 10. So it's basically the coins that we hold, the high risk DGen 40X coins that we're holding on this channel. So if you look at the price chart, you'll see that it's been going down for a very long time. Since December of 2024, we've been getting wrecked, complete wreckage, right? But if you look at this line, there's something very interesting. Two things to note, right? One is that you're seeing a pattern now, a shift in the pattern. Check this out right here. First of all, you're seeing that it's starting to ascend. And if you look at the time, how long the ascending line is, this is a longer time period than before. This is short ascension, short, short. This one is a little bit longer. And the second thing, if you're looking for confluence, is heading towards a trend line, right? So you're seeing this thing starting to head up to this blue trend line. I don't want to like ugly up my chart here, but I want you to see what I'm trying to show you. So it's heading towards this blue trend line, and it hits this line, unless we get a spike up, right? That's possible. But it ends up hitting this line on April 2nd. Can you believe that, guys? Look at this. It ends up hitting the line on April 2nd. What did I just tell you was happening on April 2nd? Well, that's when the tariffs get enforced. So it's supposed to be Liberty Day or he had some slogan like that for when the tariffs were supposed to go out. America is supposed to enforce tariffs to other nations and also enforce counter tariffs. So basically what I think has happened, right, is the market is priced in the tariffs, or at least some of it's priced in. So if this day happens and America starts tariffing everybody to death, then this thing could project and start going down more. But if this turns out to be a nothing burger, and on that day, America gets into some kind of agreement and it's not as bad as we thought, then the crypto market cap, excluding the top 10, could break out at this point. So that's another date to keep in mind. But overall, I'm following the M2 money supply, so I think we're going to be good for quite some time. There's going to be pullbacks. There's going to be high risk. If I get liquidated on these low leverage longs and we get a pullback, a severe pullback, I'll try to open some more at the bottom, right? And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, unfortunately. I mean, you can't be right all the time, right? And none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinion on the markets. But shout out to the Patreons. I mean, we've been killing it. We've gotten into Kai Network, really good profits there. We got into Mavia, really good profits. We got into Farcoin, and now I'm mentioning Giga Chad. So, and also I did mention Crow Coin in the past. In my videos I mentioned Crow and what a bargain what a deal it is, and what's going to happen in the future. How this is going to pump at some point in the future. If you've been DCing at the lows with Crow, like pullbacks on Crow, I think that's a really, really smart play too, because this is going to be one of the major U.S. exchanges, and they're in bed with Trump. So this is going to do really, really well in the future, and you just have to be patient. Render, of course, we've been talking about Render on this channel for a while. There's really just so many good coins and so many opportunities in this market. You just have to not die. All you have to do is not die, guys, right? Just preserve your capital, figure out how to preserve your capital. Don't get into anything that can go to zero. Just make sure you save your capital, because if you save your capital, this is what's going to happen in the future. It's destined to happen at some point. Now let's look at these dates, right? So the M2 money supply goes up until this is the 26th of May, right? Then we have a pullback. All right, so let's say we have a pullback. What happens in June is the Federal Reserve Bank is going to lessen quantitative tightening. And every time we've done that, we've had a major altcoin season, every single time. So could it be possible that we get a sell in May, go away, and then all of a sudden, because of more money circulating, because of what the Fed does, that instead of the selling may go away, we go beyond this point. Uh, what I will say is that we'll revisit this the end of next month to see what this yellow line says, how the M2 money supply is looking at that point. But I just wanted to get back to you and let you know what I see in the market. Shout out to the Patreons. We're calm, we're cool, we're collected, and we're taking these opportunities to increase our bags. And we're just going to chill and ride to Valhalla in the future. This has been Crypto.XL. Make sure that you take care of yourself. Be good, and I'll see you at the top. Peace.
Welcome to Crypto.XL, your go-to spot for all things crypto. Here we dive into market trends, altcoin gems, and blockchain innovations, helping you stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of crypto. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here is financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. Want exclusive insights? Join the Patreon where I share buy and sell picks, market updates, and behind-the-scenes content. Hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's ride the crypto wave together.